Broads Media.
Dak Prescott made losing plays, and Jalen Hurts is him. That's what it came down to for me. Stepping out of bounds, and now it's a 5-point game instead of a 3-point game. Loser play. Not stopping the clock and rushing one of your last chances when you should have definitely down the football so maybe everyone could get on the same page. Loser football. He played loser football, and he was gifted a lot of chances there towards the end. And I'm not saying anything about the referees. I'm saying because the Eagles played dumb. Hassan Reddick, stupid roughing the passer. Jalen Carter, horrendous. James Bradbury might just be a bum, even though he's had a stop on 4th down previously. My guy is a disaster. And I did see Cowboys fans pretty much blaming the Stripes today. How about you stop Brandon Graham 2 times in a row? How about you stop Josh Sweat? I'm just spitballing here. Maybe don't have your knee down a half-inch shy of the end zone so it's not a turnover on downs. There were plays to be made. The difference is one guy has a bum knee, Jalen Hurts, and he still outshines you, and he still throws dimes to Devontae Smith. He still finds A.J. Brown all throughout the night, while you had some favorable matchups. Yeah, C.D. Lamb should cook Eli Ricks. That dude is a walking yellow flag. I could throw for 300 yards against Eli Ricks. The dude just doesn't stand a chance right now as an undrafted kid against someone with the skill level as C.D. Lamb. Our pass rush started to make plays late, and that changed the game. Here's why I won't put a ton of emphasis on what happened late with the ugliness and the sloppiness. It's not a trend. The red zone stuff was a trend, and we'll get to Brian Johnson in just a moment. I thought that he had one of the most creative days and better executed days since he's been here, really. Probably the sharpest we've seen out of our offensive coordinator. The fumbles and all that, well, it still kind of happened. The difference today is Jalen Hurts recovered. DeAndre Swift recovered. Tyler Steen, my God, I cannot believe A.J. Brown and Swift ran into each other when the ball was sitting in the legs of Swift. I almost had a heart attack, but your rookie right guard plops on the ball and gets it. Thank the Lord. That could have been even worse than it already was. But if I see this 3-4 games in a row, we'll have a problem. Right now, it's just a one-off for me, and this team just wins again. Now they're 8-1, and it's funny because it's screenshots of the gauntlet coming up that I already see on social media. Oh, it's tough sledding when they get back from the bye. Okay, but 2 weeks ago, you had 2 more games added to that, and they've won both of them. They beat the Dolphins. They beat the Cowboys. Stop with this gauntlet shit. This team wins. This team has the quarterback that is special, battles through anything. Lawrence goes low on purpose, uses his helmet to hit his knee. My guy takes a couple plays, not even off. They just hand the ball off. Then they punt. He goes back in the locker room, comes out, and look, whether they're at the 40-yard line because the Cowboys kick it out of bounds by accident, whatever it is, or if you need us to start at our own 15, or if we have to go for 4th down conversions, one of them being on our own side of the football field, it doesn't matter. This team's different. This team finds ways, and they will milk an 8-minute drive, and they will pound you into the dirt, and you'll see Jason Kelsey on his birthday screaming into your face on the broadcast in slow motion. And by the way, another piss-poor broadcast. Greg Olsen stinks. What doesn't stink, though, is my bookie. This show is presented to you by MyBookie. If you found a $100 bill on the ground, you wouldn't walk right past it. So why are you passing up on cashing winners every weekend? MyBookie has the biggest online selection of odds and contests to fill all your sports betting needs, anytime, anywhere, so you could turn the sports knowledge into cash in your wallet. Bet on NFL, bet on NHL, NBA, or play for a share of big cash prizes in the weekly blackjack tournaments. If you've been waiting for the right time to get in on the action, that time time is right now. Make your winning move today. Sign up at MyBookie. Use promo code BRODES and claim your deposit match. Redeemable up to $1,000. Again, that's promo code BRODES to claim your bonus. Experience the thrill of sports betting right from the comfort of your home. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. I told you all to pound the Eagles -3. Thank you very much. And I told you all to pound the over for Devontae Smith, 50 receiving yards. Thank you very much. That throw by Jalen Hurts to Devontae Smith was right on the money. This guy is absurd. Jalen Hurts doesn't make sense. He almost looked more wired and more focused and more determined and more electric when he came out for the second half with his knee. The guy is something different. The guy is not human. He doesn't have nerves. He doesn't have blood. I don't know what he runs off of, but he's a machine, and I love watching him play football. I just love watching the kid play ball. I love watching him lead this crew. I love seeing shots of him on the sideline with the wide receiving core before the game even kicks off. There's something about his energy that makes me want to run through a damn wall, and I can't wait to see them get a nice week. They're relaxed. They're banged up. All right, you saw Bradbury go down, even though, but you really don't have an alternative. Not that I'm wishing for injuries by any means. I hope that didn't come off that way. I was laughing in pain because he's just stinking right now, and I have no idea how he went from how good he was last season to what he's doing now. Byard hasn't really made much of an impact, stopping a screen with Zach Cunningham, and I thought Zach Cunningham was making some plays all over the middle of the field. His number just kept popping. His name kept getting announced on the broadcast. He was doing his thing at times, but man, it's like Byard, he's having stupid penalties, and that's not Eagles football. But I really can't only yell at him when I'm watching Hassan Reddick, someone who's supposed to be a leader of this defense, doing the same damn thing. And I actually was a little aggravated. I'm not going to lie. I was a little aggravated with Hassan Reddick on 3 straight plays while everyone was freaking out on Eli Ricks, saying Eli Ricks is the problem. Eli Ricks can't hold his jockstrap. You're not wrong. But in 3 straight plays, Hassan Reddick was right at Dak Prescott. Right at him. 3rd down. And here's Dak slipping away. Hassan whiffs on the sack. And he's rolling to the right side of the pocket and making a throw downfield. If Hassan Reddick actually sacks him, then we're not in that predicament. And I'm not asking for him to do it when he wasn't even close to the play. He's right there. He's right there at his waist. He's right there at his knees. Come down with it, dude. But instead he's sliding and he's trying to make a diving tackle. It's like, dude, come on. Now, one of those plays, I think Byard actually had a flag on the play anyway, so I don't know. Maybe if he brought him down, that flag wouldn't have even mattered, or maybe that flag would have mattered anyway. I don't know the timing of it all. Regardless, though, everyone was mad at Eli Ricks, and I'm like, dude, part of me is looking at my dog out there who is a force, who is a game wrecker, who has game-wrecking plays sitting right in front of him. But it ended up okay. It ended up all right. I actually did a Bleacher Report hit right after the game was over, and I asked the question in the chat room, and it was a poll question I asked. Are you saying, phew, we escaped? Or are you saying awesome win? And it started out way closer than I anticipated. By the end of the show, it got to where it should be, and it was about 75% of Eagles fans saying that it was an awesome win, 25 saying, phew, they snuck away with one or whatever. No, they didn't. I thought they were the better football team. They responded when they needed to respond. They were down 14-7. They did their thing. If the Dallas Cowboys gave them some help because you start a drive at the 40, well, that's on the Dallas Cowboys. Shame on you for being horrendous. We did the same thing because as soon as you score, you force them to go 3 and out. You have a phenomenal drive where you go for it on a couple fourths. And one, you could make the argument they could have kicked a field goal and just put up 3 points, would have been satisfied. Both teams had a crack at it. You go up 3-0. But no, they were aggressive. And to be fair, I think even Mike McCarthy, I have no problem. I would never be a Dallas Cowboys fan because I'm not a joke of a human being, and I'm not a disaster of a human being. But I'm just saying, in a hypothetical world, which I'm not even going to finish the hypothetical, you know where I'm going at. I didn't think that Mike McCarthy, in regards to when to go for it, when to kick a field goal, hey, we should punt it. I thought he was aggressive in today's era of football. It was a respectful, aggressive, go for it style of coaching, and I thought Nick Sirianni did the same thing. But the Philadelphia Eagles outclassed them throughout the entirety of the game. The one punt before half was sort of fluky because, well, your quarterback only handed the ball off and then ran back into the tunnel. Other than that, it was the second drive of the game for the Eagles. They went 3 and out. And then if you look at the rest of the drives, it was touchdown, 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 touchdown. When they were touching the football, they were scoring 7. They were not being okay with 3 and being satisfied, which leads us right into the offensive coordinator. I thought he had the best day as an Eagle, and I also think I saw the most creativity as an Eagle. The one play that stands out to me the most is Swift lined up in the slot. He starts to motion towards the center, and they hike the football. He gets the ball. Kenneth Gainwell, so you had 2 running backs out there. Kenneth Gainwell ends up being one of your lead blocks, and then DeAndre Swift runs for 20 yards. I thought that was insanely impressive, and nothing that we've really seen to this point out of Brian Johnson. Also, unfortunately, Dallas Goedert got hurt, and this bye week is coming at a good time because there are a lot of these guys that are battling with some things right now. And Dallas Goedert one looked pretty rough. I mean, his arm got twisted. He went down to the ground hard, and he sat there in a reasonable length of time where it's like, all right, that's not right. And he went back. Nakobe Dean got injured too. So that Dallas Goedert play, though, sucked people over. Dallas Goedert wide open, green grass in front of him. I thought that was a very good solid structure play call out of Brian Johnson, and those two have been the cleanest and crispest since he started taking over these duties in the beginning of the season, replacing Shane Steichen. So I just want to make sure that he gets the love and the admiration today because I thought that that was very important to get those 7. They were getting 7, 7, 7, 7, not 3, 7, 7. And now the Dallas Cowboys have to play catch-up while their quarterback is stepping out of bounds, and that was game-changing. That was a bad play. That was a garbage play. That's a loser play. Getting those 3 points there, they're kicking a field goal probably to tie it up, and then we're playing overtime football, and who the hell knows what transpires then. So their quarterback was a loser today, and don't say, well, he actually played well, and look at his stats, and look how he threw the ball. When the game mattered most, loser football. Rushing a play, loser football. I'm just being honest with you. While Jalen Hurts, always cool, calm, and collected. The other one seemed like the moment was happening very quickly. Antsy. Hands were probably shaking. Heart was probably beating. Yeah, when there's 50, 60,000 people, Dallas sucks! Dallas sucks! It sounded beautiful through the television. I even saw Howie Roseman screaming at the top of his lungs, jumping up and down pretty intensely on the sidelines when the birds get the stop, as he should. As he should. Howie Roseman, the magician. Although I got to be honest, the Bayer thing doesn't look as good. Maybe the bye week helps out. More time to get an understanding. I don't know. This secondary, though, is a little wonky currently. Eli Ricks, undrafted. Sidney Brown, rookie. Reed Blankenship, he has his ups and downs. There's times where I wonder, what the hell are you doing? But then there's times where he's a force, and he's a dog, and he's making I'm going downhill plays. And he's stopping you at the goal line. That's massive. Massive. Half inch short, boys. I don't want to hear, though, from anybody, especially people who are calling the game, well, if this changed and that changed, it's a different ball game. Yo, Donkey, let me explain something to you. This is the National Football League, right? And this was a one-score game? Okay. Let me tell you something. In a one-score game in the National Football League, you can always go back to 1 or 2 plays. The difference is we made ours. The difference is A.J. Brown gets the touchdown. Devontae Smith gets the touchdown. The difference is 2-point conversion, dumb football from your quarterback. Now you're playing from down 5. Changed everything. Changed the complexion of the final end of the fourth quarter. Our quarterback would never. He's got one knee, and he would never. He'd get in the end zone. How about when Slay met him 2 yards right in front of the goal line? Dude tried to Superman dive. Stopped. Jalen Hurts would never. Lower the shoulder, churn the legs, and they would find a way. Let's say he did get stopped. He wouldn't. But let's say he did. Oh, it's pretty simple to me. You ever hear of the brotherly shove? They'll pull that out anytime you need it. Hey, boys, we need some separation here so we don't give up a safety. Easy. Let's get a couple yards, shall we? The one knock on Brian Johnson that I didn't like was the 3rd and 3 throw to A.J. Brown along the left side of the sideline. I didn't think that that was a smart decision while factoring in time, factoring in where the Dallas Cowboys were. I thought it was a risk, but I thought it was a risk where the reward and what you're measuring with the risk and the reward, I don't know. It just didn't seem like that was the aggressiveness that I can support fully. I thought that was forced. That was similar to, in a way, in a sense, when Jalen Hurts threw a bomb to A.J. Brown because he was feeling the connection, and he throws it into triple coverage downfield, and you say, well, it was A.J. Brown, so I'm willing to give one of the best receivers in all of football a chance to go get it, even if there are a couple defenders on him. Yeah, look, I want to look in A.J. Brown's direction. Trust me, I do. Let's be smart about it, though. Don't just force it to force it. And I think there, while you might like a matchup and you might see certain coverage, let's relax. Let's do the smart thing here. Luckily, Dallas Cowboys stink, and there was no chance that they would come into the link and beat you. It wasn't going to happen. And Nick Sirianni made that very clear. I hit on my bet for Devontae Smith over 50 yards. Bada bing, bada boom. Eagles -3, bada bing, bada boom. Just throwing that out there. By the way, if you ever want to see this team play live, or the Sixers or the Flyers at the Wells Fargo Center, I can give you $10 off and give you a jump start into getting some tickets. What you need to do is click the link down below in the description and hit the TickPick link. It already has my code activated to it, so it'll already be a part of when you go to your checkout page if you click that link. And you get $10 off of your purchase if you spend over $99. And they're the best. They guarantee it, actually. They have the best price guarantee, meaning that their ticket prices will beat any of the major competing marketplaces. They're so confident that if you find the same seats elsewhere at a better price than TickPick, they give you 110% of the price difference in form of TickPick credit. And there's also upfront pricing, meaning that there's no more doing the math in your head to prepare for how much extra you plan on spending on top of the listed price on other sites. The price you see at TickPick is the price you'll pay at checkout. Period. End of story. So make sure you get yourself to a game very, very soon here. You won't want to miss something like that live. You won't want to miss an experience of being at the link. I saw people tailgating at 5 a.m. The game was at 4:25. I don't have to explain that to you. I think you know. But the game was at 4:25. People are out there shotgunning Miller Lights, shotgunning Coors, shotgunning anything that you could ever imagine. You could find some of those big daddies, you know, those big motherfuckers, shotgun, and you put the keys in there, and you get on one knee and you start shotgunning. That's what that noise was. That's what I was trying to attempt to do. Dude, they took the delay of game at the end, too. The Dallas Cowboys did. I'm screaming. My dog is curled up into a ball. I felt so bad. She was so scared of me. She doesn't like my clap. And my wife tells me that I clap too intensely. I disagree. Yo, babe, the game is about to end, and the Eagles just beat their division rival. And not only is this important to the division rival sense, but it's big for the NFC sense. I have a mindset. I want to buy. And when you look at the rest of the NFC, you winning this game against another opponent that in theory can compete for the top of the NFC. Remember, in theory, you push them down the standings while you get healthier with the bye week and you win again, and you have one loss in the loss column, one win in the win. 8-1. All this team does is win, win, win because of what they could sustain offensively. Where do you defend? There's a lot of things to figure out, though, with Dallas Goedert's health. some of the secondary stuff, it's not all perfect currently. That makes this even more impressive, that you're winning games with some of those details happening. At least I look at it that way. And we'll get some updates on some health. But even right guard, Cam Jurgens isn't there. Here's Tyler Steen, rookie. There's growing pains involved, but he made a game-changing play getting on the football. Oh, damn, did he make a game-changing play. So did Sweat. So did BG. BG getting home twice in a row. Savage. But anyway, give me an update. Do you think that this is too loud of a clap? Let me give you a little rundown here. All right, let's say third down. You can hear it on the broadcast, right? And then yeah, right. Right now I'm just mimicking what you would hear from the TV, right? This isn't me. I'm just okay. Now this is me right now. Yeah, let's go! Come on! Is there any problem with that? I don't think that there's a problem with that at all. I think that that's good. I think that that's solid. I think that that's fair. I think that that's what you should be doing. If you're not doing that, then you're problematic. You're part of the issue. You got to be going nuts. I was screaming some things that I can't say to Dak Prescott, though, when he was getting hit. Oh, you bet your ass I was. There was no way that this team was coming in here and winning this football game. Bryce Harper's in the building. Come on now. Come on now. Sirianni, when you look up the mountain and see how much more you have to climb, that's when you slip. I mean, this guy just has a way of words. Want to talk about planting a seed? This guy says it all. He just finds a way. That one was for the fans. Big team win, and happy birthday to the old guy. That was Lane Johnson who tweeted that out 2 minutes ago. Anything else from Nick Sirianni? Win each day. Win each game. Josh Sweat sack. Huge. That sounded funny. But good thing his celebration's quick. What else we got? They got him the ball, CeeDee Lamb, that is. We tried to give him different looks. Sean Desai started with different guys and then had to go to Slay. Yeah, CeeDee Lamb was going to get his. You weren't going to fully stop him. At the end of the day, they did good enough. Ferguson got some nice touches there and made some plays, some third downs that were 3rd and 15, 3rd and 14, right? They'd get 13 or 14 yards, making it 4th and manageable. That stung. That was something that made me feel nauseous at times. But they won the football game, and it's crazy, right? This is the worst 8-1 team I've ever seen. Really? You're going to tell me that you're going to compare what you're watching now? A team, by the way, who already proved that they can go to the Super Bowl and hang with the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's say they pulled out that win against Kansas City, and they had a lead at half, and they win the Super Bowl. Then they start off the following season again, and they're 8-1, but they're winning this way. Look, the Chiefs right now are winning, and their offense isn't being the most dynamic thing in the world. The Eagles' offense is way better than their offense right now. My point is, I think the narrative would change if they won that game. So if a half of football changed, the same exact season played out last year, except the only difference between last year's team and what this hypothetical would be is 2 quarters. 2 quarters changed, but the rest was all the same. They won that football game in the Super Bowl instead. You look at this team and go, man, they just have that winning pedigree. They just know how to do it. They just find a way. That's a scary place to play. You don't want to go to the link when it's cold and it's December and it's January and it's those later months for the postseason to start. All that stuff. The narrative changes. Well, right now, this is not the 13-win Minnesota team. And if you think that's the case, then shame on you. It's not. They have a winning pedigree, just like the Chiefs. You could say the Chiefs are beatable, and they're not the level of juggernaut that they once were. I don't think the Eagles are the biggest juggernaut in the world, but they're better than 99% of this league. And there's teams that are having a difficult time trying to find out a way to beat them. The only team that does is the hiccup of the New York Jets. But guess what? Unless I'm missing something, there's only the Miami Dolphins that find a way to go 0 losses throughout a regular season. Just doesn't happen. So those uh-ohs happen. if we start to see the defense flop the way they flopped with stupid penalties and self-inflicted wounds, you could clean that up. That's why I'm also not really harping on it insanely. I don't expect to see Hassan Reddick having a roughing the passer call like he did against Dak Prescott today in 2 weeks against the Chiefs on Monday Night Football. I don't expect to see some of the same piss-poor decision-making and lack of smart football down the stretch. They don't do that. That's not them. Now, they got out of character. Yeah, I don't know if the emotions were high. They thought they had it in the bag. They know they hate this team. I don't know what it was. But if they constantly do this, then yes, I will bring it up more and more. I don't think they constantly do this, though. Okay, so, wow, 25 minutes, huh? All right, we'll take a couple calls, but first, let me pay the bills and tell you about HelloFresh. A crazy schedule can make it easy to fall back into your dinner time recipe rut. So keep mealtime exciting with over 40 recipes to choose from every week. So there's always something delicious to discover with HelloFresh. HelloFresh is 25% less expensive than takeout, so that means you get easy home-cooked meals on the table and even more money back in your pocket. HelloFresh, the ingredients arrive right at your doorstep. They're pre-portioned and ready to cook, along with pictured step-by-step recipe cards. How easy is that? Go to HelloFresh.com/50broads and use code 50broads for 50% off plus free shipping. That's code 50broads for 50% off plus free shipping. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. Okay, let's take calls about that, shall we?
Wow. Oh, my goodness. I didn't think the Eagles were going to do it. I did not think the Eagles had it in them to win this type of game. But they found a way. Lots of things go wrong for the Eagles this game. James Bradbury, tough day. But, oh, my God, when the Eagles needed to make a moment, the defense comes up big. I have not been able to say that this year. Let's go, Birds.
What haven't you been able to say? They come up big a lot. They come up big a lot. You specifically mentioned the Dolphins, right? Did I hear that wrong? Did he say the Dolphins? They were able to come up big? The defense against the Dolphins. I thought that was massive. This defense is weird. The unit is interesting. Some of their names, when you speak about them individually, it does make you sick. But they do have some good moments this year. And their defensive line started to eat. And when their defensive line eats, it changes everything about your secondary. Not that you can survive fully with everything that happened in the secondary, but when you get the pressure like you're supposed to, I thought in the early stages, Micah Parsons, the Dallas defensive front, they were making more impact plays. And then towards the end, it flipped and it rotated. And when it rotated, you secured the W. And that's how this team was built. This team was always built to win within the trenches. So when Hassan Reddick got to the quarterback and when BG got to the quarterback and Sweat got to the quarterback, your defense looks different. That's how they're built. That's what they're supposed to do.
Holy fuck me in the ass. What the fuck was that? I mean, I am grateful we got the win. It's never been this fucking close. We got the win. That's what matters, but Jesus fucking Christ. They almost blew it worse than the Phillies did. Only question I have for you, bros, I mean, going into the last couple of plays, do you just keep playing that prevent defense? That was driving me fucking nuts.
It was more than just certain defense calls, though. It was the dumb penalties. Jalen Carter, what are we doing? Hassan Reddick, what are we doing? Bradbury stinks. A lot of it was more so on the players' lack of execution and a lack of focus. That's what hurt you more than anything else. That's what was bothersome to me more than anything else in the world. I think I just need to look internally at those respected players and say, you almost costed us. I'm still very thrilled, though. I'm not going to harp on the negativity at the end as much as others are. And I don't know. I mean, I'm recording this right after the game is over. Obviously, this is the post-game show. Maybe on Monday night or Tuesday night, I feel differently and I kind of soak up what happened. But I highly doubt it because I'm looking at majority of the effort. And yeah, you could say they almost pissed it away. They didn't piss it away. They didn't piss it away, though, and they survived, meaning that, all right, now let me look at all the positives. The positives was about 90% of this game. Jalen Hurts. Now, the injury's a little bothersome, but at the same time, this guy just wears it on his sleeve, goes out there and competes, and he seems to somehow even take a bigger step forward whenever he faces that physical adversity, and he runs better. He had picked up that first down. He ran the football, and he decided to keep it, and he slid for a first down coming out of the half. The dude could barely even walk after Lawrence takes a dig at his knee, and that was dirty and low. I don't care what anybody says. He went low on purpose and went right after the knee. I saw it with my own two eyes. I don't need anybody else's opinion. I saw it with my own two eyes. All right, we're 30 minutes in. I'm going to save these calls so we can continue some of this conversation throughout the week. We have a bye week. We'll have a lot more to dissect with this outing. So I'm going to keep all the calls. If you didn't call in yet and you would like to add yourself to the folder, then by all means, 856-442-9805. You can do that now, and we'll continue the conversation throughout the week. Wow! 8-1. 8-1. I'll be talking to you guys soon. See you on the next one.